What's up, Leo? How y'all doing, man? It is time for your June 2025 main monthly reading. June 2025 for Leo, man. Already almost halfway through the year. Isn't that crazy? All right, let's jump into this. For those of you who are in need of a personal reading, the information is in the description of this video. And don't forget, since this is being recorded in the month of May, my course for the month of May is my course on how to read the tarot. It's a 2-part course. And my goal with that course is to give those of you wanting to learn how to read the confidence to develop your own unique style and not be intimidated by it, so that you can simplify it, and do it with some confidence and go into it relaxed, So the link for that's in the description. June 1st, that course goes bye-bye. All right, let's start this off with the good old past person. Past person. Let's see if anything is happening in June between Leo and the past person. If you're not here inquiring about somebody you dealt with in the past, sit tight. I'll get to you in a second. How are things looking between Leo and the person from the past? Knight of Pentacles reversed. 2 more shuffles. 2 more. Boom, 6 of Wands reversed. Star reversed. Ooh, we got that Tower reversed. Hang on. Well, the only thing throwing a little bit of a monkey wrench in here is this. So the 2 of Wands is the card of being at a crossroads. It indicates not making a decision. Some decision that needs to be made, some action that needs to be taken. And then we got the 3 of Wands. Both of these cards are not very action-packed cards. And the Ace of Wands reversed. So it kind of feels like somebody here is contemplating a reconciliation attempt. I got to figure out who's who, because I'm having a really hard time figuring out, is this you? Because, okay, let me put it to you like this. One person is seriously contemplating reconciling. The other person, I think, knows that and is waiting for that reconciliation attempt to happen. But I can't tell who's who. I can't tell. Honestly, I'll tell you the way this feels to me at first glance. It feels to me like this is you contemplating a reconciliation attempt, and this is the person that you're dealing with, just sitting back waiting for you to come forward and attempt reconciliation. These energies could go both ways, but I'm thinking you're kind of leaning into, the thought that it may just be a waste of time. I don't know, maybe some of you are dealing with somebody that has an addiction issue, possibly, or maybe they're just a generally toxic individual, possibly. But I don't think you have high apple pie in the sky hopes that even if you were to attempt reconciliation, that it would really work out successfully. Some of you dealing with an Aquarius. I also have Virgo, Libra, and Capricorn. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right, well, let's see how they be feeling about you. How this person feel about Leo. What are their truest, deepest thoughts, feelings, and opinions, hopes, dreams, and expectations? What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they in general? Ooh, Magician reversed. I do kind of feel like this individual is a pretty manipulative individual. I think so. I think so. Five of Wands. Argumentative too. See, I had a feeling this was them. And so in their mind, for some reason, they're convinced that you're gonna come back. They're convinced of it. Now, every time the Three of Wands comes out in somebody's energy like that, I always have to ask you the same question. Have y'all done this before? Have you done this before? The reason why I ask that is because of the nature of the Three of Wands. I know I have a whole course on how to read the tarot, but I'll give you a little spoiler, okay? In the Three of Wands, this dude here is waiting for his ships to come in, okay? Now, notice how I said that. I didn't say he's wondering if his ships are coming in. His ships are coming in. He knows it. And actually, here you can even see him way off in the distance coming in. And he's waiting on him. So in this person's mind, they know you're coming forward in their mind. Why would they be so sure of that? The only thing I can conclude is that you've done it before. So that's why they think you're going to do it again. I could be wrong on that, though. I don't know. Now, this person is holding a grudge. They are holding a grudge. I think this weighs on them a lot more than they like to let on. But they don't want you to know that. They're putting on a show for you. Putting on a show for you, pretending they're not losing sleep, but I think they are. Oh, and the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, with the Six of Wands, yeah. Putting on a show for you. They are keeping an eye on you and checking up on you, hoping that you're watching too. And they're putting on a show for you. I think at the end of the day, they want to be with you, with the Empress down here. I think so. I think so. But with the Five of Wands here, are they willing to do their half of the work to make a reconciliation happen successfully? Or do they just want a reconciliation on their terms, you know? Signs I have on the table: Cancer, Taurus. Taurus again. You know, it could be anybody. Them's just energies. Okay, well, let's grab the advice here because, you know, it just looks like there's a bunch of sitting around waiting. Let's get the advice. What's the best course of action for Leo universe? Best course of action. Should you reach out and try to communicate first? Should you keep your distance? Focus on your healing? Or should you just slam the fucking door on this and walk away from it? What's the advice? Two of Pentacles reversed. Five of Cups reversed. So that's a healing card. Five of Cups reversed. And the Page of Swords reversed. And so the direct message this is giving me is that, and the Eight of Wands reversed, it would not be a good idea to even think about talking to this person until you've done some healing. I'm not saying you have to be glowing and floating on a fucking cloud, but do some healing, some. At least enough to where they would be able to notice. You know, that's one thing that throws people off. People don't be expecting other people to actually heal and change. So, you know, you spend time apart from somebody, they think they know you like the back of their damn hand. And then they end up reconnecting with you. And it throws them off guard. They're like, oh, whoa. I'm going to have to get to know you all over again. And that can catch them off guard a little bit. But as long as they have pure intentions, that shouldn't be a problem. If anything, they should take that as, well, damn, if I really want you in my life, I better step my fucking game up, you know? So, yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to say do or don't take action towards this. But what I will say is that make sure that if you do, you're bringing a new version of yourself to the table. Because they're going to have to rise up to meet you. You don't want to drop down to meet them. They're going to have to rise up to meet you. That's the only way it'll work. It's the only way it's going to work. The only way. All right. Let's see what's happening between the singles and your love interest. Single Leos and the individual you are interested in. Anything happening in June? Anything good? Anything bad? Or is it just spinning in a circle going nowhere? What's happening? What's happening, universe? Ooh, High Priestess reversed. Uh-oh. Sounds like a battle between ego and intuition here. Three of Wands reversed. Okay. Well, you can't quite bring yourself to walking away from this for good. But you're highly suspicious of something. Highly suspicious. With the Seven of Swords reversed and the High Priestess reversed and the Three of Swords. Some of you could be suspicious of a third party, possibly. But there's something I think you're a little bit suspicious of. Like I said, kind of feels to me like a possible third party. But whatever it is, I don't think you have rock solid evidence, but you're like 98% sure that they may be lying about something or keeping a secret or being sneaky about something. But you can't really tell if your intuition is picking up on that or if you're just tripping. So, but you can't quite bring yourself to walk away from this either. So with the Two of Swords, I still don't think a solid decision is being made. I don't think so. Okay, some of you dealing with a Pisces. I also have Taurus and Cancer. All right, well, let's see. Let's look at their energy and intentions. Let's see their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. What's this person's truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? See, there's the Two of Swords again. They don't know. I don't think, well, hang on. Boom! There it is. So, okay. I'm very particular about how I word things. Okay? So, I'm not going to go as far as to say that there is a third party, but I will say that there is a third energy. Now, what do I mean by that? When I say third party, that means there's actually legitimately like another person actually in the mix, you know, like a side piece or an ex that they're still fucking with or something like that. When I say a third energy, that could just simply be like, for example, they could still be in love with their ex. And deep down, secretively, they're still really hoping that their ex will come back. But they're talking to you, you know, trying to buy some time to fill that void, you know, really wanting their ex to come back, but kind of hanging on to you just to see, you know, or it could just be another person that they're interested in. I think there's a third energy in here. I wouldn't quite say third party. But see, here's the funny thing. They're ready to find their life partner and settle down. But I just don't think they've made up their mind as to exactly who that person is they want to settle down with, you know? And that is just, that's not a good headspace to be in when you're dealing with anybody. Not a good headspace to be in. Don't get me started on that. I'll be talking all night. Okay, well, let's get the advice then. What's the advice? What is the advice? Now, that deck's getting a tood. Hang on a second. What's the advice? All right, 2 more shuffles, 2 more. There we go again, High Priestess reversed. So now we've come back to, you know, square one, where this is the first card that jumped out in the whole reading. So something feels off. Eventually, you need to either A, figure out what it is, or B, just step away from this altogether. Seems like I've had to give this little speech so many times here in the last 2 months. When something feels off, when it all comes down to it, it doesn't matter what feels off. Don't spend too much time trying to figure it out. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what feels off. Either A, I'm intuitively picking up on something that's off about you, or B, I'm viewing you through a broken lens of my own trauma. Either way, it's still going to sabotage the connection. Either way. Whether my intuition is right on point or I'm just tripping, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter which one it is. It's still going to destroy the connection. So I would say keep an eye on that energy. Keep an eye on that energy. If you can't sort that energy out somehow, some way, it's only a matter of time before. Well, basically what it's doing is it's only going to get heavier, and this burden is only going to get heavier and heavier and heavier, and eventually a new stick is going to get added to the bundle every day until it breaks you. So I don't know how long you've been messing with this person. I can't say much more. The only way I'd really be able to give more explicit advice than that is if it was a personal reading, but that's what I'm going to leave that with here for this general reading. All right, let's see who's actually due to come in next, because I got news for you. I don't think a lot of you, I don't think that's a soul contract that's actually due to come in for a lot of you. It doesn't feel like it. I don't think so. It shouldn't be that confusing. I'm not saying that can't happen, but 90% of the time, when a soul contract, a prominent soul contract is due to come into your life, it's not that confusing. Most of the time. There's exceptions to everything, but it shouldn't be that confusing. Let's see who's due to come in next. Who is due to come in next for Leo universe? See, look, man, look at that. Look at that. When the next person who's due to come into your life comes into your life, you will not be confused about their feelings. Period. Period. Not comma, not semicolon, not question mark. Period. You gonna fucking know how this person feel about you. Could be a water sign for some of you. A Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. Oh, this is somebody that's had their eye on you for a while, I think. So I'm thinking this is somebody you know of. Hang on, let me see what else comes through here. Yeah, so I think it is somebody that you know of. I'm just not 100% convinced that it's somebody you've thought about like that, you know? Like, it may kind of take you by surprise. Okay, so let me give you an example. This is my favorite example. That one person that you work with, and you know who they are. You see them every day, but they don't take up 1 square foot of space in your mind. You see them at work. You may even say, hey, every now and then. Well, that's as far as it goes. Once you clock out and go home, this person does not take up any space in your head at all. And then one day, you're at the county fair, and you're in line to get a fucking funnel cake or a corn dog or something. And then all of a sudden, you look behind you, and boom, they're standing right behind you. Like, yo, what's up? How you doing? Boom. It happens right there. And you're like, holy fuck, I never would have imagined being with you. I never thought about you like that. You never thought about me like that. Totally unexpected. And 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. I think there's a potential for a life partnership with the next person coming in here. Major potential. Major potential. Okay, well, let's see if we can get a little check on their energy. What's some of the first things that you're going to notice, other than how this person feels about you? Let's get a little check on their energy. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Again, could be somebody at the workplace for some of you. But regardless, if it's at your workplace or not, they all about their work and their finance. No question about it. Very generous. You may notice that this person is a little bit more generous and selfless than anybody you've dealt with before. Oh, and you definitely gonna feel a really, really, really strong sensation like you've known them your whole life. It's probably going to be one of the very first things that you notice. Once you connect with them at that level and you peel back that layer and you get to know them at a deeper, deeper level, it's going to be like, God damn, I feel like I've known you my whole life. Some of you may even go as far as to say, I think I'm remembering a dream I had about you when I was a little kid. And it didn't even cross my mind until we penetrated that surface level, you know? Because there's just something about connecting with somebody at a deeper level that makes you see them as a totally different person. Even if this is somebody at the workplace that you've known about their existence for the past year, once you peel back that surface layer and you connect at that deeper level, you see a totally different person, you know? That's another thing that you're going to notice. Now, this person does kind of have a little bit of a childish and mature side, too. It looks like a pretty good balance, though, honestly. It looks like a pretty good balance because we got the King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, right? Indicating very serious, mature, when need be. And then Page of Wands, Page of Swords. Goofy, silly, and childish, when need be, you know? So that's a pretty decent balance there. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a second thought in your mind as to the potential for long-term stability here. Okay. Okay, that's good. Good. I like it when that positive stuff comes through like that, man. I really do. I know a lot of people think that I'm just a negative reader. No, I'm an honest reader. There's not many of us on YouTube. I'm an honest reader. I read what actually comes through. So when I see good stuff come through, I'm going to read it. let's grab the advice, I guess, for this situation. What's the advice when the next person comes in for Leo? What is the advice? Ooh, Knight of Wands. Okay, well, in the very beginning, I don't know. See, I kind of see, like, for all the years I've been doing this, it seems like there's a tiny little handful of things that we all struggle with. If I really wanted to sit and make the list of the top 5 or 10 most common roadblocks and hiccups in the beginning of a connection that ends up leading to the demise of the connection later on down the line, it's just a tiny little handful. So which one of those to focus on really depends on the energy of the situation. But I think for this one right here, I don't really think you're going to have to worry about communication. Because it looks like communication is pretty decent. But what I would focus on with this would be establishing security, meaning give them a big long leash and just let them do what they want to do and be who they are on their own terms. Don't put too much pressure on them to change certain things right away. Don't be too pushy and demanding. Not right away in the beginning, Once we've been together a little bit later on down the line and we're noticing a repeating pattern of something, then that's when we can start maybe getting a little bit pushy. But in the beginning, I'm just going to let you be you. I'm going to let you be you. I want you to know that you can 100% be your fucking self around me and not be judged for it. I'm not going to look at you funny. I'm not going to look down my nose at you because you're still struggling with something that happened to you 5 years ago. I think that's what I would focus on here. Because they need to be able to let that guard down and open up and talk to you about any fucking thing, man. And they should be able to talk to you about anything, and you should be able to talk to them about anything. That's the thing about your life partner that a lot of people just don't really seem to understand. You all need to be best friends. That's not just so you can enjoy each other's company, not just so you all have things in common, but think about best friends. Best friends can talk to each other about any fucking thing. If you got somebody that you can come to for literally any fucking thing, that's going to be your life partner. I would honestly contend that if you could establish that, everything else falls in line. If you could establish that. If we can come to each other and confide in each other with anything, the rest of it will fall in line. It's just a matter of developing that security. It's a matter of I have to feel safe to come to you and talk to you about anything. You have to feel safe to be able to come to me and talk to me about anything. And as long as we establish that security, the rest will fall in line. All right? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Leo family needed to hear. So I am going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget the information for personal readings is right down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.